Tears. I had a hard time with that one. But I can get through this. So I do have some things I do want to say about it. First of all, too, there's a lot of people who unfortunately weren't able to make it here for one reason or another, and they were very sweet. They texted me different things like that. Illnesses, travels, things like that. And we understand. But hey, you want to go to Tennessee, December 7th, we get to do this all over again. Ooh, so this is our dress rehearsal. You have to give us a grade on this. But I do see a lot of familiar faces here today, and that's a real joy. Some are newer faces, some are older faces that we've known for a lifetime. I kidded about I have my two TV wives here, and it really put a joy on my face for Mary and Donna to be here. And of course, our beautiful children, Eric and Hannah, and Eric's lovely bride, Allison, whom Pam dearly loved. You know, Bruce is right. I'm glad he was able to tell some things about Pam, because a lot of you who only maybe knew us for this last year didn't really get to know Pam, because she wasn't able to be out and all like she was. You know, a lot of people, they go, oh yeah, your sweet wife, the one who can't walk very well. That was just such a very minute piece of her life, a hard part of her life. But I'm grateful that I had, even those last few months, even though they were hard. Wouldn't trade. I was showing a young couple recently who were, Pam and I always push people to get married. Oh, you should get married. Stop playing house, get married. And I told him, I said, you know, I don't regret one single minute of our marriage. Would I regret the time we were married? Yeah. So I'm grateful for that time. She was an unbelievable mom. And I know we're all going to say that about our moms. So I'll say it about her. She was. But she loved her kids. I'm going to tell you, I wasn't the greatest dad, but she was the greatest mom. She was able to take care of my shortcomings. She was just, and she'll tell you this day, she called them all the time. She'd be on the phone with them. I'm like, how do you do it? I was like, I can't think of that much to talk about with our kids. She can go on and on and on. I'd be sitting there going, it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go. But that's what made her mom, right, guys? She'd leave them voicemails that they may listen to or may not. And that's okay. She truly was my best friend. From the first time I met her. I used to kid her about, yeah, your top's in the house, the kitchen, and the bedroom. Enough said about that. Bruce mentioned something too about her legs. She did. The woman had incredible legs. Oh God, do I miss that. I've got a picture on my phone. I show everybody. On my phone now. The other thing, when we hiked, you know what I always requested her to do? Please walk in front of me. I love you. Donnie and Barry, y'all know what I'm talking about. I love that for you. Man, do I miss that. You are going to go back and say, boy, we never heard that kind of stuff. That's true. She never did meet a stranger. I mean, she never did. And that wore off on me. And when Bruce talked about when we went in and said, hi, we're looking for friends. We were dead serious. We get to a town, and it's like, we got to make some friends, folks. We want to get to know people. She did help, was an instigator, and pulled me into it, starting the Sunday school class in Orchid. It wasn't just there, though. We started classes in other cities. We started one in Bakersfield, California. We started one in Gainesville, Florida. We started one in Syracuse, New York. All designed to bring people together and to get fellowship and to get to know one another. She loved the elderly folks. None of you are that. But I think we had more 90-plus-year-old friends than I can count. I kid you not. And Pam would try and call them all at least once every 2 weeks, and then she'd drag me to go see them. I go, really? We have to go there? And we would go, and we would visit with them. One of them, Lola Gumry, our dear friend, our adopted grandmother of our children, 94 years old. She has stayed in touch with us over the years. She has come and visited us in every city we have ever lived in, if you can believe that. She was at our son's wedding. My own parents said it was too far to go to the wedding. They were in New Mexico. Lola was in Arizona and went. And she was 89 when she went to that. She came to Hannah's college graduation. My parents said it was too far to go. And Lola is 94 now, and she has been such a great support to me through this. I tell you, a phone call that I had, and Lola lost her husband when she was 62, I believe. And we were there when she lost Keith. That was back in Santa Maria. 2 weeks later, Lola was hosting a baby shower for Pam at the pending birth of Hannah. 2 weeks later, she was doing that. She lost her son, Mark, just a few years ago. He was the same age as Pam. I think it was about 3 weeks later, Lola was visiting with us with a smile on her face. And I told her, I said, Lola, how do you get through this? I said, I just feel so dark. I just feel so lost. I don't know what to do. And she told me just a few weeks ago on the phone, she says, you know, Jack, she says, this is hard. She says, you've got 3 choices you can make. She says, number one, you can go into a very deep, dark hole, and you may never come out of it. She says, number 2, you can kill yourself. She said, or number 3, you can choose to be happy and move forward. Yep. You know, that's what Pam told me to do. I tell you, Pam, that's a lot harder said than done. But I'm going to try, because that's what she would want. I mentioned Syracuse, New York. That was a tough place for us. We left California, went there, and I was a little hesitant to go. But I want you guys to know, Pam loved to move. You may find that hard to believe. There were multiple jobs I would want to turn down. She'd go, no, I think we should do this. You should try this. I mean, she was so giving in that way. Syracuse, New York. It's in the middle of the snow belt. Pam hates snow. They get lake effect. The average there is over 100 inches of snow a year. We go there. The people were about as friendly as the weather. No offense, New Yorkers, but that's a tough bunch of them. They are tough. You know, the church we were going to, he told the pastor we had an idea of maybe starting a Sunday school group together. He's like, well, good luck with that. He said, this is what we call a drive-in church. I've never heard that term. We said, well, what is that? He says, they drive in, they dump the kids, they go to Starbucks for an hour, then they pick them up again. We said, well, let's give it a shot. So we did. We started a class, and we actually had 16 couples show up. And it was going along pretty well. They were trying to figure out how to have fun. And we had Pam planned a barbecue at Onondaga Park. Reserve the park space now. We're going to have a barbecue. We want the class to come. Bring your kids. It's going to be a fun event, right? Puts it all together. The weekend it's about to happen, my grandmother in Tennessee passes away. So Pam tells the class, look, please have the barbecue. Okay? We need to do this. So she gave this other lady all the plans, right? And everything's set up, ready to go. Pam is calling back and forth while we're on the road to Tennessee to make sure they do this barbecue. Well, we get back the next Sunday, the class is all gathered, and we're like, hey, how was the barbecue? Did it go well? Was it fun? The guy in the class goes, oh, we didn't have it. I'm like, well, what do you mean you didn't have the barbecue? He goes, well, Pam wasn't here. What's the point? I mean, that was just her. You know, Pam was the life of the party. Some of you may or may not know this. We were in Madison, Wisconsin on one of my other wild adventures with TDS. I have some TDS family members here. I took a job in their corporate sales division. It was because, did y'all see the pictures when we were in the real estate business? Yeah, we tried doing a real estate company in California. That was last spring. That didn't make it. So, but we had fun trying. But Pam, TDS was very good to me when I worked for them in Bend, and so they had this job in corporate sales. And Pam and I talked about it, and I said, I don't know, Pam, you hate snow and cold. So, all right, fine, we'll do it. So we go to Madison, Wisconsin. We were only there a couple of months. It was a disaster. I found the division I went into had a 100% turnover rate. When I got there, I was number 2 in seniority. By the 3rd day, I was number 1 in seniority. That is not a joke. It was amazing, the turnover rate. I knew, oh my gosh, what have we gotten into? But while we were there, in just 2 months, Pam helped organize a dinners for 8 groups in the local church there we'd started attending. She and I together then started hosting a home Bible study weekly in our home for members from that church. And then we started volunteering at the hospice thrift store twice a week. That was just in 2 months. I mean, the guy knew how to get involved and dragged me into it, and it was great. It was then that we had the rescue call, I call it the 911 call, from Patsy and Craig from KOBI TV here in Medford, Oregon. And that's how we ended up here. And they did rescue us. We came back. Never did I know, though, what was around the corner for us. And that was tough. It's been a tough year here, really tough. But I also want to talk about her work in real estate. She then got a job, though, when we were in California trying to do a real estate company with this young man over here, Bryce Moore. Bryce has a real estate company where they would buy and sell properties in the Southeast. Pam had that sweet little Southern Belle voice. And boy, she could work those calls. I would listen to her on the phone with those people. They trusted her so much. They believed in her so much. And she loved that job, didn't she, Bryce? She loved that job. You know, she kept working that job up until 2 weeks before she passed. I would every morning get up, help her take a shower, get her dressed, take her into her office, get her positioned in her chair, and she needed all kinds of padding because it hurt so much in her bones. And then she'd get on that phone, and you would not know there was anything wrong with this person on the other end of the phone. I mean, she worked it beautifully. Even in the week before she died, and I would push her a little back, well, maybe go make a few calls. You want to work on the computer? Because that kept her going. She loved doing that. And I'm glad she was able to do that. I'm glad that Bryce stuck with her right up until the end. Tell you a couple little quick facts about her. Anybody know if Pam could swim? She thought she could. We're living in Shell Beach, California. Her and a group of the ladies there have their kids at the pool. Someone looks over and says, I don't know what the kid's name was. We'll say little Johnny is at the bottom of the pool. Who dives in to save little Johnny? Pam. She dives to the bottom of the pool. Pam and little Johnny aren't coming up. Lifeguard has to jump in, rescue both Pam and little Johnny. But she was going to try, guys. Even though she couldn't swim, she was going to try. And she did recover from that one. Or how about the time we're at the Middle Tennessee State basketball game outside of Nashville? We're sitting there enjoying the game. Pam senses that a little boy with his family in front of us is about to get sick. She grabs my popcorn, dumps the popcorn out, leaps over the seats, puts it in front of the little boy for him to throw up in the box. I mean, that's just how she was. In her last days here, unfortunately, what led to, and it was eventually going to take her life, the collapsing of her spine, was we had a neighbor down the street from us, it's July 4th, had fallen. And Pam and her brother were taking a walk, and they heard someone crying in the backyard. And her brother said, run, get Connie. His wife was a nurse back at our house. Well, Pam ran. You're not supposed to run when you have metastasized cancer in your bones. It eventually led to her spine collapsing. Eventually her lungs started to give out, and it took her life. But do you think for 1 minute she regrets running for help for that lady? No. I mean, there's a part of me that thinks, gee, Pam, did you really have to do that? But I know she did. She did. And she has her rewards in heaven now. Someone, my kids commented about all the clothes Pam had. Because it was just one of those things. It was just me. After she passed, I said, guys, we got to pack up her closet and things. I said, I just can't bear it. I just can't. I did keep a few of the things. We're going to make, I think, a blanket out of some t-shirts, some favorite little t-shirts. And these guys probably don't know this story either. Pam was not materialistic. She was a hoarder, and I was the neat freak. I'd always call her the pile queen. But anyway, when it came to clothes, Pam, when we would be out, always wanted to get something for somebody else. But when I was with her, I'd see that cute little figure, and we'd walk past things, and I'd go, man, you'd look great in that. And I was always wanting to buy her little outfits and things. I mean, always. That's where all those clothes came from. It wasn't because she wanted them. I would just do it. Shoes, anything. I would just see the stuff and go, that looks so cute on you. And it's funny, the other day, I had to go to the mall for something, and crap, I started crying in the mall. Because I'm looking in the windows at the clothes and things. I remember, I would look at those things and go, gosh, you look great in that. But I don't have it. I get by for it. That's okay. Someone also asked me about, did you have any favorite flowers? You know what? Again, she really didn't. She never really wanted them or asked for them. I would get them for her, and she would be happy if I went out and picked grass and put it in a jar. She did love roses, though, and I would get them for her. Our first date afterwards, I got her roses. Some more fun facts. Pam Church never wore so-called mom jeans. And she swore never to wear them, and I said, when you do, that's when I'm checking out. She had the figure for the good jeans, I'm telling you. And she wore them. And yes, she could wear a pair of shorts and t-shirts like nobody's business. Somebody asked me, you think you'll ever date again? It's like, really? You think I could ever? The bar has been set so high. I have no idea why she got stuck with me. She also loved video poker. She loved video poker. And she played it, in my opinion, the most stupid way. I would sit there next to her in Las Vegas where I go, Pam, no, do this. She'd go, no, I'm going to do this. And she'd win. I'd be out of money in 20 minutes. She'd have money for the entire year. She also enjoyed movies. She loved action movies. Die Hard. She loved all those kind of movies. I'm the one that would watch the sappy movies and stuff like that. She loved the action movies. I don't know why. She just loved them. She enjoyed wine tasting. She also, the other thing, and the point of the thing I'm trying to make is, it was a rare relationship we had. She went along with anything and everything. We went to hundreds of sporting events. I was a sports nut. We had season tickets. We had season football tickets to the University of Virginia, University of Nevada, UCLA. I can't remember them all, Eric. Can you? We had a couple more. Air Force Academy. We used to go to University of Tennessee. All these games. And to this day, I guarantee you, she could not explain to you how you get a first down. But she went along. I'm convinced she never really understood the game, but she just loved. She would go with me. She loved being there. A lot of those pictures over tailgating. She liked to tailgate and do things like that. We loved boating. We had a boat every year of our married life. Some of you have been on boats with us. We didn't have a boat this year. It was the first year of our married life we didn't have a boat. And now I kind of feel bad as she was in her last day, as I told her, I said, well, you don't have much life insurance, but what you do have, we got a boat. And we laughed about it. Now I'm not so sure if I will have a boat again. Won't quite be the same. We fished a lot, but she never took a fish off the hook. She could catch fish, but she wasn't going to take them off the hook. She loved live theater. One of the pictures you saw was our 25th wedding anniversary in New York City. We went there, we saw 5 plays in 4 days. And it was glorious. It was a great time. And you know who kept our kids? Lola. Parents were going to have to be part of that. No, we don't need to go to New York. Lola flew from Arizona to Florida and kept our kids so we could go to New York City. Lola would have been here too today, I'll tell you, but she is, her travels have slowed down a good bit. Also, the other thing Pam did, she could sleep in the car. I mean, she could sleep in the car. I'm not talking about just go to sleep in the car. I could drive from here to Ray's supermarket and she would be asleep. I don't know what it was about the car, but she could. The other thing, I will tell you a quick story and I'll wind it up. I know I've been up here a long time, but it's my one-shot deal, right? Where are you going to go, huh? We talked about moving and how much she really did love the adventure of moves. And some people say, well, was it hard on your kids? And I know there was hard times on them. I know it was. But you know what? They turned out pretty good. They both graduated college and they didn't move back home. Probably for fear we'd move again. But they're both in successful careers and Pam was so proud of them, and me too. But there was one move that I will tell you about that I blame on Pam to this day. And it was a horrible move. We're living in Shell Beach, California. 3 doors down from the ocean. No, we didn't own the home, but we were renting a home. 3 doors down from the ocean. I'm working at KCOY TV. Life is all good. In fact, I have left on air. I'm now the general sales manager for the TV station. And I get a call from my good buddy, Larry Landau. And Larry will be in her service in Tennessee. Larry and I have been friends for 25, 30 years. He's been a general manager of mine twice. Larry calls me up and says, hey, have I got a job for you? And I'm like, well, I'm all ears, Larry. He goes, how would you like to be the general manager of a UPN television station? Everybody in here's going, UPN, what's that? I went, Larry, that would be unbelievable. He goes, well, look, I'm going to run, it's a duopoly. These were new, 2 stations in the same building. He says, I'm going to run the Fox station, and you're going to run the UPN station. Larry, this is great. Where is it? Jack, it's in one of the great cities of this country. I'm like, okay, Larry, where is it? Lubbock, Texas. We're living in Shell Beach, California, 3 doors down from the ocean. Larry puts together the deal for me. He sends it. I open it up. Pam and I look at it. I'm telling Pam, no, we're not going to Lubbock, Texas. This is one I say no to. She goes, okay, all right, if you think, all right, whatever, you'll have goes along with everything, right? I go to work. That night I get home. Larry calls. Hello. Jack. And that's how he talked. You remember how he talked? Jack. He said it like that. Pam called me and I'm so thrilled you're going to come to
Oh my God.
I'm like, what do you mean we're coming to Lubbock? Pam and I got it all worked out, Jack. It's going to be great. You're going to love it. So Pam goes, I'm so sorry, sweetie. I just thought this is too good of an opportunity for you to pass up. You'll be the general manager. Little did I know they only had a staff of 4. There's many of these 3 guys who were supposed to sell the station or whatever. And I had a little office that said UPN on it. Well, we get to Lubbock, Texas, and I'm going to tell you, I quickly found out why Larry was so desperate to get us there. Larry needed a friend. It was awful. Dust storms, dirt in the house all the time. Pam's like saying, oh, it's not that bad. Yes, it is. It's horrible. Larry then was about to get a job in Austin. Larry, you got a job for me with you in Austin? No, but I'm going to work on it. Thank goodness I had a garden spot call me with a weather job. So we left Lubbock and we went to the next best city in America. We went to Bakersfield. And we liked it. So that's the one move that I do kind of fault Pam with. And Bakersfield, though, ended up being a great move too. We started another class there. We also started a senior getaway program. Pam led the exercises. I would open up the things, and then we did a Bible study. That was weekday mornings. We did that, what was it, Tuesdays or something like that? We did that. Bottom line, she was the tops. And I'm going to miss her a lot. And I'm going to close with one quick story. This one I'll try not to cry through. It happened recently, and some of you saw it on Facebook, but I want to tell it to you. I decided last weekend I had to get away. I just felt like I gotta get away. I just gotta go somewhere. So I thought, I'm gonna go down to Reno. Pam and I used to love going to the sports book and watching college football. We would watch it on all the big screens. So I thought, I'm gonna go to Reno. So I went to Reno last weekend. The drive down was great. I was happy. It was going good. I felt good. I felt like she was with me. Went to the sports book, ate the seafood buffet. Tennessee won. I won a bet. It was all good. Next morning, I woke up and I was in this massive suite that I had booked. I don't know. I booked it. Whatever. It had a living room, a bar area, giant, everything. So I was in there, and then I got out that morning, and I went down to get my car, and then at the valet parking. And I'm standing there and I'm looking over the mass of people. And please don't anybody take this wrong. Maybe I was being judgmental, but I'm looking at the sea of people. In particular, I'm looking at the women. Not anything, but I'm looking at the women, and I'm looking at them, and like they're either in crappy looking jogging outfits, or they're in their pajama bottoms, their hair's wet. It was just like a sea of, just wasn't good. It looked like nobody cared. And I started thinking about Pam. And Pam was the type that before she went out that door, she made sure her hair looked great. She didn't wear a lot of makeup. She'd wear just a little bit of eyeliner, made her eyes pop. And I know she probably did it for me, because I love her. I love the way she looked. But she always did. She looked sharp whenever she would go out. And I'm there, and I'm waiting for my car. I'm saying, God, I miss her. It's like, where is she? Because I just couldn't see. I couldn't see my sweetheart. Well, I'm standing there. It was as if God tapped me on the shoulder. I looked to my right, about as far away as that plant, and there was this most beautiful woman. She had her hair, much like Pam's. She was in a cute pair of jeans, a little top. She had little earrings, kind of like Pam, like the Southwestern. Pam loved the Southwestern jewelry. She had just, but she was just, it just reminded me so much of Pam. And I kept looking at her, looking over. It's like God was just like going, come on. So I walked over to her, and I took a big risk. I walked up to this woman. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I have to tell you, I said, I lost my wife 3 weeks ago. And I said, you remind me so much of her. I said, you're just so beautiful. And I said, it looks like nobody here cared but you. That could have gone one or two ways with this lady. Tears then started building up in her eyes. And she says, you need a hug, don't you? I said, I'd love that. And we embraced. And we held each other for a while. Just sat there in that moment. And it was like Pam was there. She then told me, she said, this may be the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. I said, no, thank you. She goes, no, thank you. And I didn't get her name. Her car then was pulled up. She got her car. I could still see her. With my band. She waved. And we smiled. We waved at each other. She was like, I did say, thank you, God. considered today. I really think considered. Oh, I'm sorry, I blew it again. She said not to cry, but wear bright colors. And I will, as Bruce said, I know she's no longer in pain, and I will see her again. I do know that. I will tell you, it's hard though. It's super hard. Any of you have lost anybody. It's super hard, but that's all I got. Thank you for indulging me for way too long. I think my children probably want to say a few things as well. I've limited them to 45 minutes each.